Then we get into the game year. The game year is broken up into different rounds, and we'll go over each of these rounds quick. And we're going to start with production round. And you can see our resources popping up from our territories and our horses being born. They are now on the map. Now the thing about the resources is we don't automatically get to keep them. We have to store them in our stockpile, and we have to defend our stockpile. So I'm going to just put my stockpile down here. Now if Blue takes this territory, he would take all my resources, and that would be devastating. So even when you are dominating at any given time, there are still weaknesses in the game you have to be aware of, which gives it a little more strategy. So here we get into the units, and it's basically just naming all the different units, and we're just looking at the development costs really quick. You see down here a dragon has to be summoned by a witch, but I'll go over these more in a second. Here we're going to get up into the trade round real quick. Basically, you will never see this in a two-player game. You'll only see this if there's 3 or more players alive. So instead of clicking here to end, I'm going to actually just do a trade and just show you guys quick. Basically, this is all my resources, and this is Blue's resources. So let's say I'll give him an iron, and I want like one of his golds. Okay, so this might be a trade he might take. So I select the 2 that I want, and I say offer. And he will grade the trade if he wants to do it or not. And he didn't want to give me a city, so that's why he didn't do that. But like, whatever I set here is what I'm going to give, and what I set here is what he's going to give. So here I'll just give him a weapon. And of course he took it, but that's how trade works basically. And if there was more than one player, I can click on player here and cycle through the players, or just say finished when I'm done. So now we're going to get into the shipment round. Boats can travel to any territories that border its water. I'll show you that in a second. Horses can travel 2 spaces during shipment and attack, which makes them very important. And they can pick up and drop off units too, which adds a little more strategy. Pretty much all other land units move 1 space. I do have to update this because I made the dragon move 2 spaces now. The dragon can fly 2 spaces. This screen basically just going to show us points for each unit and basically a little info about them. And we're going to get into the actual shipment phase now. So here the tutorial is saying, you know, select my king and stuff, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to select this territory over here, and you can see there's a horse here. Let's play in that. If I select the territory with nothing, it's going to say there's nothing there to ship. So I'll select the one with my king. You'll see a king and a horse. So I'm going to pick up my horse. And a horse is a transport unit, so we can add stuff to it. So I can add my king to that horse right now, and I'm going to do that. If I had a weapon, I could also add the weapon too. And it's going to say, alright, well, where do you want to move to? If I was just moving my king, he only moves 1 space. I'd have to end the turn. Since I got a horse, I can move 2 spaces. And I can do a double move. So I'll stop in this middle territory here just by clicking on it. And you see I have an option to drop the king or move on. I'm going to drop my king there, and I'm going to move on to this territory here. Normally I wouldn't want to split up my king and my horse. I'd want to keep them together, but I just want to show you guys some of the strategy of the game. Now we get into the witch and the magic round. You'll only see the magic round if you have a witch, and you can only build a witch. It takes 1 iron and 1 gold. Probably the most powerful unit on the map, very strategic, but she is limited to a portal that she has. Basically every round she gets an amount of magic equal to the level of her portal. So you have to upgrade her portal to get better spells and to get more magic. Level 5 portal is basically all you need for all the spells and for all the conjuring. Level 10 will be the maximum for magic gain, because after 10 is just wasted. You can only gain a maximum of 10 per turn. And you can only hold a total of 50 magic total. Anything after that is just wasted. Also, the witch can make a resource if she wants. So if you're short on a resource, she can make one for you to kind of, buy you through a turn. Or use her spells or conjure units. So she's a very important unit. Another unit you have to keep safe and look to destroy your enemies. So now we get a magic turn and we just collected our little magic. And then I have my options to upgrade my portal or the witchcraft. You can see Conjuring's not lit up yet because I don't have enough magic for it and enough levels. Alchemy is always lit up. I can make any resource. And right now I can cast Thorn Wall, which is a defensive spell. And I'm just going to cast that for now. So that just added me a little defense. Not like I really need it, but just to show you. So here we get into the attack round, and basically it's stressing what element of chance you picked during the game and how it's going to affect your attacks. Like if I played a low chance game and I have less numbers, I won't get an attack button. So that could be confusing to some people. Another thing is the allies button. If there's more than one color touching a territory, which happens in bigger player games, you have to settle the allies before you can get the attack button. And all you have to do is click on allies and the computer will do it herself. Or sometimes if the computer is attacking a territory which touches you, it will come up and ask you, and you'll see your color pop up and your little human icon, and it'll say, what do you want to do? Do you want to attack, defend, or be neutral? And just so you know, everything you do with a computer he leaves an impression on him. So if you help him, he likes you a little bit. If you hurt him, he dislikes you a little bit. If you beat up on him real bad, he'll want to take it out on you. If you kick his ass real bad, he may go out of his way. If you beat him up a little bit, but then leave him alone, he may just forget about you and move on to somebody else too. So I tried to make the computer pretty dynamic with his allies. So now we're gonna go quickly get into